Okay, so now we've got enough functionality built up that we can start thinking about making a condition to establish that the game has been won, right? So to do that, we are going to build up a win condition item object from the ground up. Every object in Unity starts life as just an empty object with a transform, and a transform is just a position in space. It's a position, a rotation, and a scale. So let's go ahead and create an empty up here in the game object menu. Make sure nothing is selected. All right, this empty, if I press F to zoom in on it, there's nothing there. It is literally what you see, this little gnomon to give a orientation and direction to it. That's all it is. It has no other thing. It's a point in space. It has nothing else going on with it. So we're going to use a condition script. Go into scripts, conditions. Now I noticed in the class a lot of you guys were going ahead and you were putting actions. You were skipping the conditions and putting actions on your object. So first you need to put conditions on, and then those conditions will take actions when the condition is met. So I'm going to rename this game object to WinCondition. And I am going to do a condition area. Let's drag that over there. It says it requires a collider of polygon, circle, or rectangle. I'm going to choose a circle. And I'm going to go ahead and increase that radius, because like that small radius, like that makes it a little harder for the player to actually know they've met it. You want to be generous. When it's time to win, it's time to reward your player, be generous. So go ahead and increase that. It is currently set to being a trigger, which is what you want for this. So right here in this condition area script, it's like, okay, well, what type of event is this? Well, it's an enter event. When the player enters the circle, we want to take an action. So let's look for an action to take. We want the dialogue, right? We just want to give the player a message. And it will create this dialogue action component right here for us. The text to display is, hey, let's do you escaped, right? Because it's a maze. All right, so that's how it is right now. Let's go ahead and test that out and see if that works. Nope, so far it's not working. I just ran right into it and nothing happened. So one of the reasons that that's not working is this dialogue balloon where it's drawing text. So in order to draw text on the screen, we need to have a UI set up. Now, setting up a UI can be very intense and hard to understand, but fortunately they've provided us a prefab already. It's in the assets prefabs folder, and it's this user interface, and all you got to do is drag from your project here into your scenes hierarchy, and you can see right here on the game we now are getting text and drawn into our game world. Now let's see what happens when I play. You escaped. All right. So there's one other problem. I'm going to go ahead and move my condition over here so it overlaps the asteroids. Oh, immediately it says you escaped. And I didn't do anything. All right, so let's look at that. My spaceship's here. My win condition is here. When I hit play, it says I escaped. It gave me the victory condition. Well, that's not right. And the reason that that's happening is because we don't have filter by tag checked. So if we check filter by tag, it will only meet the condition if the object that has entered the area has the tag of player. So now when I hit play, the asteroids no longer trigger the condition. But you know what? Neither does my player. The reason for that is because my player does not have a tag assigned yet. So when I select my player object, if I come up here to the tag, it says it's untagged. He has no tag. all I got to do is scroll down and choose player. Now he's tagged as player. When I hit play and run into the condition, I now get the appropriate message. Okay, so the other thing that's bothering me about this is, number one, this big gray border. I'm going to click that color right here, so it says the background color right there. You just click that, and I'm going to take the alpha down to 0. So now the border will be completely transparent. The other thing is the target object, right? So the object that the text is following, it just pops up wherever. So I'm going to give it a target of the main camera. So I'm going to drag the main camera from the scene all the way over to the target object. So there's multiple ways to assign values to fields, right? So I'm going to show you a couple of ways to do that. So the easiest way is the what you see is what you get, is you can click and drag from the hierarchy over here to the inspector and release. And now the win condition will always target the camera. So no matter where you are or what you're doing, you're going to have the camera there, right? It's like things have to be drawn to the camera. So wherever the camera is, the text will be drawn.